Children, in this video we are going to discuss about what is an atom. Have you ever observed a mason building walls? These walls a room and then a collection of rooms to form a building. So what is the building block of huge buildings? Obviously, it is bricks. So what about the building block of an ant hill? It is a small grain of sand. Similarly, the building block of all matters are atoms. Do you know how big are atoms? So, atoms are very small. They are smaller than anything that we can imagine or compare with. More than millions of atoms, when stacked, would make a layer barely as thick as this sheet of paper. So the atomic radius is measured in nanometer. 1 meter is equal to 10 to the power of nm. Nm means nanometer. We might think that if atoms are so insignificant in size, why should we care about them? This is because our entire world is made up of atoms. We may not be able to see them, but they are there and constantly affecting whatever we do. Through modern techniques, we can now produce magnified image of surface of elements showing atoms as you are seeing in this pic. Now let us find out what are the modern day symbols of atoms of different elements. Do you know who was the scientist who used the symbols for the elements for the first time? Or what were the symbols he used for the first time? So, Dalton was the first scientist to use the symbols for elements in a various specific sense. When he used a symbol for an element, he also meant a definite quantity of that element, that is, one atom of that element. As he was knowing that atoms are circular in shape or spherical in shape, he used a sphere and various signs to represent the symbol. As you are seeing in this picture, the first one is hydrogen. To represent hydrogen, he used a circle with a dot. For carbon, a shaded circle. For oxygen, a blank circle. Like that for sulfur with plus sign in a circle. And for iron, circle with I inside. For copper, with circle with C. For lead, circle with L. And for silver, circle in the circle S. Like that uh, he used various signs in the circle to represent the symbol, but it was not a convenient way to remember all these symbol. So Berzelius, one of the scientists, suggested that the symbols of elements be made from one or two letters of the name of the elements. So, according to that, the first attempt was made. In the beginning, the names of elements were derived from the names of the place where they were found for the first time. For example, the name copper was taken from Cyprus. The names of elements were derived from the names of the place where they were found for the first time. For example, the name copper was taken from Cyprus. Some names were taken from specific colors. For example, gold was taken from the English word meaning yellow. But nowadays, IUPAC, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, approves the names of elements. Many of the symbols are the first one or the two letters of the element's name in English. the first letter of the symbol is always written as a capital letter and the second letter as the smaller letter. For example, hydrogen H, aluminium Al, and not as capital A and capital L. It has to be written as capital L, capital A and small l. Cobalt, capital C, small o, and not as capital O and small o. So, the symbols of some elements are formed from the first letter of the name and a letter appearing later in the name. For example, chlorine Cl, zinc Zn, etc. Other symbols have been taken from the names of elements in Latin, Germany, or Greek. For example, the symbol of iron is Fe from its Latin name ferrum. Sodium is Na from natrium. Potassium is K from kalium. Therefore, each element has a name and a unique chemical symbol. So, this list provides a clear idea about the elements, names of elements and their symbols. So this table provides you the information of elements and the symbols. Dalton's atomic theory proposed a most remarkable concept of atomic masses. According to him, each element has a characteristic atomic mass. The theory explains the law of constant proportion so well that the scientists were prompted to measure the atomic mass of an atom. Since determining the mass of an individual atom was a relatively difficult task, relative atomic masses were determined using the laws of chemical combination and the compounds formed. Before we go for the understanding of atomic mass, let us first understand what is the meaning of relative mass and the standard unit. Now, tell me how can you find the mass of 1 kg vegetables? So for this we use this. On one side of a balance you keep 1 kg stone and on other side you keep fruits. When both side is in equilibrium, then we say the mass of vegetables is equal to 1 kg. Here the mass of vegetable is the relative or a compared to 1 kg and the 1 kg stone or the 1 kg is the standard unit to measure the mass. As we all know that atom is a very small entity and to find the weight of this atom is very difficult. So while searching for various atomic mass units, scientists initially took 1 by 16th of the mass of an atom of naturally occurring oxygen as a unit. This was considered relevant due to two reasons. The first reason, oxygen reacted with a large number of elements and formed compounds, and the second, the reason is this atomic mass unit gave masses of most of the element as the whole numbers. However, in 1961, for a universally accepted atomic mass unit, carbon 12 isotope was chosen as the standard reference for measuring atomic masses. One atomic mass unit is a mass unit equal to exactly 1/12 the mass of one atom of carbon 12. The relative atomic masses of all elements have been found with respect to an atom of 12 carbon 12. So, to understand this concept clearly, imagine that you have visited a fruit seller. Now, this fruit seller selling fruits without any standard weight with him. What he does now, he takes a watermelon and says this has a mass equal to 12 units. So he divides the watermelon into 12 equal parts. Now the 12 watermelon units or 12 fruit mass unit. He makes 12 equal pieces of the watermelon and finds the mass of each fruit he is selling. So relative to the mass of one piece of the watermelon, now he sells his fruits by relative fruit mass, as you are seeing in this picture. So the atomic mass is defined as the total number of protons and neutrons present in nucleus of an atom is known as mass number. So in this picture you are seeing that carbon's atomic mass is 12. Carbon 12 isotope is taken as a standard mass to relate the or compare the mass of other atoms. So you can see over here that the on the balance, if you keep one on one side the carbon 12 isotope and the parts of carbon 12 isotopes on the other, they both are equal. Okay, so here it is used as a standard unit to measure the mass of the other elements. Okay, now if you want to find the mass of oxygen, what you have to do is you have to place the oxygen on one side, on the other side you have to compare it with the carbon 12 units. Okay, so if you keep the oxygen at carbon 12 units, it will not show a balance in the equilibrium in the balance. So what you have to do is you have to add 4 more units of carbon there. In this way, the atomic mass of oxygen is 16 units. Like that, for sodium it is 23 and for nitrogen it is 14. So this image of atomic masses will give a clear idea how the atomic mass of any element or any atom of element can be noted down, or we can get when we compare it with the carbon 12 isotope. In the next session we will learn about molecules. What are molecules? Molecules of element and molecules of compounds, and how to write the chemical formulas.